republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, Melanie, additions or deletions to the agenda at this time? Board, no additions or deletions? Okay, so one point of order we need to start right off with. We have an advertised 9 o'clock budget hearing. Would like to kick that off. And you want to give a real quick overview. And so at 9 o'clock we'll open the required budget hearing.
Good morning. We'll make this real quick because I'll be back on for resolutions in a little bit. So we just opened the budget hearing for the 1920 fiscal year for the public to comment on the work that the budget committee approved in our May meeting. So it was advertised in the May 22nd Lake County Examiner, and it's also on our website for people to look over the summary of our budget.
Okay, and we'll leave that hearing open, close later today to document any comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I would like to ask Sheriff Taylor to come forward. We have a honorable day today. Good morning, sir. So with that, I will turn it over to Sheriff Taylor.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to recognize several people. Obviously, the Board of Commissioners for Lake County, Commissioners Winters, Williams, and Elverson. Also, I'd like to recognize Lakeview Town Councilors, Councilor Taylor and Councilor Winston. I don't think anybody else from the town is here. Also present is Warden from Warner Creek Corrections Facility. Make no mistake, he's not here to celebrate what we're doing right now. He's on a recruiting mission.
That's not true.
What I'd like to do is just, this is just going to consist of a brief introduction of our deputies. There'll be, after we do that, the oath of office, and then we will have a pinning of the badge ceremony. So with that being said, Deputy Patterson, please stand and come forward. This is Mike Patterson. He's 46 years old. Deputy Patterson was hired with the, I'm sorry, 40 years old. Yeah, on top of your name, okay? He's 40 years old. Deputy Patterson was hired with the Lakeview Police Department in 2016. He took a job with the Juvenile Probation Office in 2018. He was recently hired here at the Lake County Sheriff's Office on the 6th of May. Deputy Patterson's been married to his wife Jamie for 16 years. They have 2 children, 14-year-old Gavin and 13-year-old Owen. Deputy Patterson is slated to attend the DPSSC Academy on August 11th.
No.
No.
I'm already certified there, but.
No, you are not. Deputy Patterson has already attended the DPSSC Academy when he was a member of Lakeview Police Department. I got ahead of myself. This is a test. Senility is a thing of reality here. Deputy Robinson, please stand and come forward. Okay, let's see if I can get this correct. Tom Robinson, 28 years old. Deputy Robinson joined the Marine Corps in July of 2009. He was honorably discharged in July of 2014. While serving his country, Deputy Robinson was assigned active duty to areas of Afghanistan and Kuwait. In addition to his military service, Deputy Robinson was assigned details such as dignitary protection for former President Obama and his immediate family. Deputy Robinson has achieved degrees in criminal justice and aviation. Deputy Robinson is slated to attend DPS Academy August 11th, correct?
Sir.
Also, Deputy Robinson would like it be known that he did not work for the Secret Service. That was a error in a statement that was put out, so he would like that corrected. Okay, Deputy Stubbs, stand come forward. Deputy Stubbs, 39 years old. Deputy Stubbs has worked for 911 dispatch for 11 years. Deputy Stubbs was a captain with 911 dispatch and a battalion chief with the Lakeview Fire Department. Deputy Stubbs has been married to his wife Jerry for 15 years and has 4 children, 13-year-old Adrian, 11-year-old Riley, 6-year-old Brenner, and 4-year-old Cameron. Deputy Stubbs is also slated to attend the academy August 11th. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so what I would like you to do is face the camera here. Gentlemen, if you just stand, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Thomas Robinson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the laws, therefore, and the rules and regulations
and the laws, therefore, and the rules and regulations
of the Lake County Sheriff's Office,
of the Lake County Sheriff's Office,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of deputy
discharge the duties of deputy
during my continuance therein
during my continuance therein
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you. This part of the ceremony is the pinning of the badge. The profession's most visible symbol of service has taken on an almost iconic meaning as the professional policing has evolved. To the police officer, the badge represents public trust, with which he has authority to act and to which he has a duty to remain true. A cop's badge is perhaps the most visible and recognizable symbol of policing around the world. It's seen by many as a sign of authority, sacrifice, and service. So when these deputies pick an individual as to who they want to present that badge to them and pin on their chest, the badge is pinned over the left side of their chest where the lapel is, signifying it's over their heart, which will remain true to their professional career of public trust. Do not dishonor, do not disgrace badge because it is significant in public trust. It's a trust that the public gives to us to act in their interests. Okay, so Deputy Patterson, who would you like to present your badge?
My wife, Jamie.
Jamie? Now this can be, like I said, symbolic of public trust. It can also be a little bit of revenge by the chosen person. The badge is supposed to go into the badge holder, but oftentimes we have seen the badge be pinned on like this. So that, Jamie, that will be your choice.
Out there,
Deputy Robinson, who would you like to be?
my mother and stepfather, Jerry and Mike Noah.
Jerry, pleasure to meet you. And I believe we've met him.
On a good note.
Yeah.
Just, I'm gonna give you a shot to open that.
I have a little break.
Absolutely. You give them out like candy.
I just want to display it next to his cover at the house.
There. And Deputy Stubbs.
My wife Jerry.
Here.
I didn't think Camden could do it.
I'm gonna go get.
Revenge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got it. See?
Gentlemen, welcome to law enforcement. One of the most honorable
That's
professions.
my phone.
Congratulations, you guys. Welcome aboard. Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. On behalf of the commissioners, we'd like to welcome you aboard, and please be safe and represent us well out on the street. Thank you, guys. We'll move along. There is some refreshments and everything out in the hall to mingle out there. We're going to continue on with our regular meeting. There's room enough to mingle out there, and congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for that.
I just thought they were lying. You didn't think it real.
Hey, my
Hey
friend.
there.
How are you?
I never met this guy. He's in my house.
I was thinking this too.
Yeah. Right.
No such luck.
They just like to complain about it out there. And I'm telling you.
So if you ever want to, if you want to meeting room, we have brownies outside.
I hear you met my mother.
Thank you.
Yeah, she was very excited about it, actually. That's right.
No, I'm.
Put the new driveway and system back patio, so all of our grass got that problem, like, she also, yeah. She called you again.
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for,
That was my
it's a load off
favorite.
Scott's mind.
Good. Very good.
Okay, so we're gonna move on down our agenda. We're a couple of minutes early, but we're gonna go ahead. Amy, are you expecting more to come on the library?
No, I'm all by myself.
You're all by yourself, so we're gonna just go right ahead. It's timed at 9:15, but we're gonna jump right on to it.
Alright, I got a lot of stuff. This is for you. For you. For you. And for you. Thank you. Thanks for having me over today. So one thing, the first thing is just kind of a general update, and this is not surprising to anyone, but our tax revenues fell. But this is the first year we're really feeling the effects. We had more of a carryover last year that we could use to kind of finish out this year with our regular amount of services. So you have in front of you a copy of the very long budget message, which you can read at your leisure, but I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights for you.
Okay.
So with the Ruby changes, we overall lost about 20,000 in our tax base. And at the same time, the new PERS rates went into effect this biennium, and if we had stayed as is, that would have cost us 10,000 more. So there's 30,000 that's, in our annual tax revenue now is about 400,000 for the current year taxes. So 30,000 is a pretty hefty percentage of that. So trying to make that up is been a big challenge. So the things that we've done, and we've gone through in the the budget committee has approved this trajectory. We had to target laying off one of our part-time staff members and reducing the main library hours from about 50 per week to about 40. We're leaving the branch hours unaffected because they already have so many less. For example, Christmas Valley has about 25 hours of service per week right now, and we had 50 in Lakeview, so it doesn't make sense to try and cut across the whole county when the service was already a little bit uneven. And then we had to carve pretty deeply into our purchasing budget for books, DVDs, audiobooks, all the things that people check out from the library. And we will be doing community conversations over the course of the summer in different locations throughout the county. In addition to this particular bump in the road.
Amy, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so they're problem-solving conversations where we kind of lay out where we are and what the gaps are and talk about how we can fill them.
What's the format in which that will take place? Like, do you have specific meetings, like once a month or something like that?
Well, I think we haven't totally set it up, so we'll work out all the details at the June board meeting with the library board. But the model that we've used with like our strategic planning meetings in the past is have meetings in specific locations, invite community members to come, kind of give a presentation of where we are and what the gap is, and then kind of the menu of options to fill that gap and have people kind of target ideas that they think would be the best way to proceed. Yeah. So that's kind of the format. And we're hoping to do those over the summer across the county. We're, it's larger than just this year because you have your second item is the PERS rates contributions, and I made it a rainbow to make myself feel better because it was ugly. So if we did nothing, that top red line is where our rates would go, our contributions for the same amount of service, and you can see that's looking pretty ugly and quickly makes it unfeasible to even have a library, pretty much. And we also need to be setting aside funds so that in 25 years, when the new building needs a new roof, we have cash on hand to do that. So the gap between where we are and where we should be is pretty substantial. So that's why we need to have these larger community conversations to kind of set the trajectory for the next 5 years for the library. In the meantime, things we're working on are an hours survey, which you have in your packet, to make sure we choose the right 40 hours per week to be open. So I would love it if you guys would fill it out. I have extras if you want to take some and make people you know fill it out. I'd be happy to get those back and get good information. And the other thing we're working on is kind of a way to infuse some money back into the library materials budget. So this has different levels for different locations. All of our materials go to all of our locations, but if, James, you gave some for the Paisley Library, the one nearest your home, then that location would get the items first. So that's kind of the model that we're working on to try and inspire some giving across the county to help put those materials back in. And feel free to take as many of these as you would like and give them to whoever you can think of to give them. The other reason I'm here is because we don't have a liaison, and I think as we're navigating through these conversations with the community, it would be really important for us to have someone who can be informed, maybe come to a couple library board meetings per year. We have 2 where we review our strategic plan and where we are and what we've accomplished and where we're going next. And then attend some of these, not every single one, but be a face at some of these community conversations and help talk about the library out and about in the community. So I'm hoping that someone here today would be willing to do that.
I'd be happy to, because I've been trying to get to the early learning meetings and I haven't been able to yet, but that is on my priority list to try and start making it to those, so I can try and make it to some of these meetings as well.
Okay, that would be great, sure. I mean, unless somebody's gonna fight him for it.
Commissioner Alberts, are you good with that?
Would you like to?
Consensus of the board, you have a liaison.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
and
we
you're
could-
all invited to the meeting.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
what I
all
was gonna
come.
follow up with. It'd be great if, a couple of us actually went now and then.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and when we get to the community meetings, I'd love it if it works for your schedules to maybe divide and conquer and, if one person went to one meeting in one place and another in another place, that could be helpful
So,
for us if that works.
the communication is the best thing for
Yep.
us. Email it, all three of us.
Mhm.
James will be your main liaison. Email all three of us, and we'll try to tag team when we can.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works for me, yeah.
The board good with that?
Yep.
Here we go.
Also, summer reading is coming up in Happy News, and this year is a universe of stories, so there's a lot of aliens and lightsabers and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you have kids or grandkids in your life, starts the week of the 24th. So, and I should have brought you flyers, but I'll email those. Do you guys have any questions for me? Okay.
when's your next meeting?
The next library board meeting, let me look at the days on the calendar.
So what we're going to do, I think there's still a few people out there, we're going to go ahead and take a break so that maybe I'd like, no Mark could like get out there at least a minute.
Yeah, do
And
it.
you and James can get that scheduled.
Okay.
So we're
Yeah.
like, we'll come back at 9:30.
All right, 10-minute break.